online. Good evening and welcome everybody to the regular Gilbert Council meeting of January 26, 2021. Call the meeting to order and we'll have the roll call, please.
Councillor Heitzman.
Here.
Councillor Skenzich.
Here.
Mayor Oberstar.
Here.
Let the record show Councillor Pulis and Councillor Leone are both absent with notice. Mayor.
Thank you. We have established a quorum and we can have a meeting. Now would you all rise and help me open the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. It appears we don't have any additions to tonight's agenda. I'll just put it under the other one, okay? Under this, I'm not gonna add it, just gonna be under this commission list, okay? All right. All right, we have our previous minutes to go, okay? I'm still clocking over here, so when I get going here, I'll log off and log back on again, okay? Let's approve the January 12th, 2020 meeting working session minutes. I've reviewed these already once or twice or 3 times. We've had only one, we got the corrected version tonight at the beginning of the meeting. Was at the adjournment, we omitted Joe's name in the I category. So that's the only change on that one.
I'll move to approve.
I'll support.
Motion by Counselor Scansia, supported by Counselor Heitzman to approve the minutes of January 12th, 2020 City Council working session. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. January 12th, 2020 regular City Council meeting minutes. Moved by Counselor Heitzman, supported by
I'll support.
Counselor Skansich. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. January 12th, 2020 regular meeting minutes are approved, 3-0. January 19th, 2021 special City Council meeting minutes.
I'll move to approve.
I'll support.
Moved by Counselor Skansich, supported by Counselor Heitzman to approve this January 19th, 2021 special City Council meeting minutes. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries 3-0. All right, anybody here in the audience tonight, on Zoom, on the phone, public input, wish to speak to the council on an issue other than what's on the agenda tonight? Deputy Clerk, you have nothing on Zoom or on phone?
No, Mayor and Council, there isn't anybody requesting public input.
Anybody in the audience tonight? If so, wish to come to the podium, please. I see nobody in the audience either. Nobody on phone, nobody on Zoom, internet, so we continue on. Reports by the mayor and council. I'll let the council go first. Councilor Heitzman, you have anything?
No report tonight, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Councilor Skansich,
No report tonight.
thank you. I have a few things. First of all, I want to remind everybody of next week's February 3rd, Wednesday night, 6 o'clock. Meeting. It's not a, I don't know if it's a council, not a council meeting, it's just a citizens task force meeting. I've asked citizens of the community to come down. It'll be advertised in the paper, 6 o'clock, come on here, either on Zoom It'll be on the board outside or in the paper, your Zoom numbers, your telephone number, or we can only hold so many people in here. And the purpose of that meeting is to get citizens' input and even citizens' continued meeting throughout the course of this year up until October, November. City of Gilbert, the school board in 2 years from now is going to give the city of Gilbert the school grounds, everything but the school garage. They still feel they need the school garage. They will give the city of Gilbert all the school property empty. Take everything down. The purpose of this meeting I'm calling for is we have only this year to decide if the people of Gilbert have ideas to give to this council on keeping any of the buildings up there, the elementary up, the gym up, the media center up, for City of Gilbert purposes or for private purposes for some developer. Can we get a developer? Because once we okay and our discussions with the school and say we want this, we want that, right now we're just going to get the land. If we say we want this building, once we take that building over, we're stuck with that building. And if we need to tear it down someday, we're stuck with that cost. This is why I'm forming this committee of the citizens in town to come down throughout the course of the year, just meet one time. I have Northland Foundation going to be a facilitator of this meeting throughout the year, which will be paid by the IRRB with help from IRRB, to come with ideas to propose to us, the council, keep this building for this purpose, keep this building for that purpose. Our city engineer will be at those meetings as well to give data, give costs. Right now, if you keep any of those buildings, they all need utilities, each one of them separately. Everything is coming from the senior high. I'll be discussing that later. So there's a big cost to Gilbert if we keep these buildings. So I'm asking for citizens' input. What do we keep? Or we keep nothing? Right now, it is nothing. I don't want nobody coming down here and say, just let them take everything down. That's already going to happen. I want people to come down here that are interested in keeping something, advertising for a developer to take over assisted living in an elementary school, or see if we can find somebody that'll want this, and we'll just swap the deed around, you know what I mean, to hand it over. But if we don't have that plan, it's too risky to take. So I need folks to come on down, give us some input, and work with city engineer, Northland Foundation. A few of us counselors might come down. I can't be down more than 3 of us at a time. Work from February to Thanksgiving, and give us a plan on what you feel we should do, city-wise. So we need to get back to the school board early on in 2022 of our decision on what we just want the land, take everything else down. I don't want to, hopefully we don't get that. That's what's going to happen anyway. But hopefully we can find some other uses for this property. That's the plan. February 3rd, come on down, start meetings. I'm sure you're going to have more than one meeting, hopefully every month or every 2 weeks, bi-weekly meetings anyway. It's a lot of work. You're going to have Northland Foundation, and you're going to have John facilitating and getting answers to some of your questions. And I will be here, I'm sure. So that's the plan, next week. Secondly, I need to, I'm going to form a committee here of, for the negotiations of, with Mr. Paul Bontemps on the 8 acres that he's willing to sell, not swap. We're talking about purchase, outright purchase to the city of Gilbert of the 8 acres of land. I'm trying to form a committee, a negotiated committee. My appointment is have our administrator Jim Paulson, city attorney Brian Lindsay, city engineer John Jamnick, city public works director Sam Lotiger, Councilor Pulis, and Councilor Skenzich, and Bob Kivala on that committee to meet at the schedule which Mr. Paulson will devise up. And Mr. Bontemps is already aware of it. He's okay with that. And get something to the council, hopefully soon worked out or not. That'll be your task. And I need a motion to okay my appointment of those individuals and form a committee. Okay.
Make that motion.
Moved by Councilor Heitzman, supported by
I'll support.
Councilor Skenzich to approve the mayor's appointment to form this negotiation meeting with landowner, Mr. Paul Bontemps, with the aforementioned individuals. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Did everybody get that down? Okay. One other thing I want to form, or not form right now, but have council, we can bring it up a month from now. We need to, we have an emergency plan in Gilbert, but we don't have a plan for after hours, on weekends. What I'm looking for, council, is to have a phone number for a citizen. I gotta call, when I get people calling, they call me, that's fine. I can't reach nobody. I gotta leave messages and they come back, but that time that's not good. We need to have a phone number on hand to have Jim Friday to Friday have it. And then with pay, on call, okay? Somebody wants to call that phone number, Jim's gonna answer it, like 50. We have at the sewer plant, those 3 people down there, they pass it on, I think they get $50 a day. Or $350 a week. And every week they baton it off, okay? We need that down there. And then we need that here for the city too as well. Pass it off from Jim to Sam, to Ty, and whoever, maybe Sandra, okay? Pass it on, and that person will get a hold, because we have snow or a sewer backup or a water line break or a cave-in or a tree fell down or transformers down, something other than a real 911 thing. Okay, that doesn't need a 911 phone call, happens. And other towns have that, where they pass that on. And Gilbert has to start that. And there's expense to it. You don't want to have these people on that week to be on call for nothing, ruin their lifestyle. But not that Sam should always be, and if you can get hold of them, he could be in Minneapolis that week. game. So we need to develop a plan. A phone number is gonna cost money, have this phone number on our website, and people will adjust to that phone number to call, but at least somebody will answer it. And that person will be able to, they'll have to work it out on who to get, and even if it has to be a contractor, you know. But we need this after-hour system. This one is not working very well. I'm grateful that Sam and Ty respond back to me when they can. You know. Well, what if I was, and you were gone? You know, I mean, if they can't get a hold of me, they called you, and we're all Duluth shopping or somewhere else. You know what I mean? We need this phone to be passed on 4 weeks in a month from one person to another. And I think we'll be better off for it. It'd be a better service for the public. Things don't happen all the time, but they do happen. And they're not in need of a 911 call. So I'm gonna lay that out there and hopefully you come back. First meeting of March, no, not March. How's that? March, I'll give you the March 9th. I think that's the first meeting, March 9th. And I will have Jim get us some costs of the phone by that time. I think we're giving $50 down there. I think other towns are saying $250 a week. But if we're paying these folks down here at the sewer plant $50 a day, there's gonna be some costs involved. So we do it or we don't. So that'll be the decision to be made by the council March 9th, okay? And it doesn't mean that Sam's got to come on all the time. Sam's going to have to train some other people on the city crew for different types of jobs. Not that Sam knows how to do certain things. Only Sam. He's got to start showing on other people and be willing to. And if you can't get nobody on the city crew, you call contractors out. It's after hours, it's weekends, it's understandable. And nobody has to be tied, to the phone. Anyway, so that's what I'd like to see happen, start that new service for people of Gilbert. This month already, we had a sewer backup. Snow, do we go? Don't we go? Blah, 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 blah. No, we gotta do better. All right, thank you. Move on to city attorney, Mr. Lindsay.
Thank you, Mayor. I have no formal report, but I'm happy to field any questions the council may have.
All right, any councilors have anything for Mr. Lindsay? Okay. How did the Blight Committee get their ordinance?
Mayor, what I had presented to the council and what through my research, my opinion has come to be is that we currently have the appropriate provisions in the existing ordinances to make that Blight Committee work. And what I had done is gotten together some information about if we need to pull some administrative warrants and things like that. I've got a process in my back pocket that can make that happen if the need is for that type of activity. So we should be about ready to go on that Blight Committee.
At their Blight Committee meeting a few months ago, there was talk about this civil jury made up of Gilbert to listen to a blight violation instead of having it go to the courts and sit there for 9 months.
Correct, and we do have, there is a structure within our current ordinances that has what's called an administrative fine or administrative penalty provision, which essentially sets the council as the hearers of the appeals from those issued citations.
That's in there.
It is.
And then we have the indemnity waiver for the Blight Committee.
I believe that I did provide basically what's just an indemnity or a release, but that can be provided in short order.
So you're saying we don't have to adopt any more ordinances or add anything into it?
I believe there was one small tweak that I brought forward, and I can prepare that as an action item, but overall, as an overall structure, we should be about ready to go.
Bring that to a council for approval. So when the snow is gone, that the Blight Committee can start with the Blight officer, helping out folks that need help. And finding these blight violations. We have blight in Gilbert, lots of it, and we're not the only town. But we're going to be stronger on blight this year than we've ever been before, I hope. We have some volunteers that are willing to help the folks if they need help, moving things or emptying out their yards or whatever, if they accept the help. But it will get done. It's not going to be shoved underneath a rug. It's going to be done. All right, thank you, Ryan. All right, City Engineer, John Jamnick.
Just a couple updates. One, the ground storage tank bids are coming in Thursday. And then the city did last Friday at the IRRB meeting, received some grant funds to help pay for that project. So that was help, and thanks to the IRRB for that.
Well, thank you, IRRB. Very good. Thank you. Thanks,
Yeah.
John, for your help on that too.
Yeah, and the second thing is Jim and I and Sam met a couple weeks ago about some improvements down at the campground. Maybe looking at putting some new water and sewer to some areas and doing something with the pavilion. I think there's some funding opportunities Jim's talked to the IRRB about. So we're going to be finalizing some cost estimates and bringing them back to the council probably at your next council meeting. But I just want to make you aware that that's just another project that's ongoing, is looking at the next round of improvements down at the campground. Otherwise, the rest of the items are agenda items.
You need any, at this time, do you need any authorization from the council to proceed on that?
No, I'll present something at your next council meeting. We can review it. Then we can get authorization to submit the application.
All right, thank you. And we did receive $36,000 on handicapped bathrooms at the community center.
That's item B on the under newer business, so we can.
We can take it then. We don't have SEH on there, do we?
Mr. Mayor, I believe Kevin is on mute. Oh, there he is.
Yep, here. Sorry about that.
Okay. I promised I would take them. Number A, a new business, Gilbert Water System Project. Okay, Kevin, talk to us about that.
Yeah, so we put together an agreement. We discussed a little bit during the work session to essentially come up and meet with Sam and Tara and take a look at the water plant again and figure out what exactly needs to be done during this interim period while the city plans for a new water plant and when the new water plant can actually be constructed and put online. We know that there's several issues that need to be fixed, and so in order to reliably, provide service for the next 3 or 4 years, we essentially come up with a cost estimate to allow the city to to budget for these interim repairs, and then also a portion of the agreement is for SEH to engage with the IRRB to try to get some funding for this work. Mike's on the line also. So essentially, we're proposing to have all this completed by February 18th meeting to present it to the Water and Light work group that we met with a couple weeks ago, and then come forward again in March then with some direction on moving forward with the rest of the water treatment plant project.
Yes, so what we're looking for now is your estimated cost for this service is $7,000.
Yep. So we've set it up to be an hourly contract. So you only pay for the time and expenses that we put in. We're estimating that to be a not to exceed $7,000 amount. To look at the line stopping clarifier repairs, Sam and Tara sent over a report from the manufacturer of that equipment with some recommendations for repair. We're striking the well 3 rehab from the agreement, so we won't look at that. And then also the filter effluent piping and valves need some repair. There's actually a hole in one of the filter effluent pipes.
The well 3 was discussed earlier that needs almost like immediate attention, so so we can't push that one down the road for seeking help with that because we need it right now. So we're going to take that one off the table. Okay?
Yep.
Otherwise, I would recommend the council go ahead and authorize the $7,000. And if there's any left over, we can get reimbursed, okay? Because of that well 3 situation. We'll see how that, after it's done, if you need some more work on that, okay?
Yep. And just to clarify, we'll work on an hourly basis, so you'll only be invoiced for the time spent. We won't bill you the $7,000 upfront or anything like that.
Okay, we could say not to exceed that right now, right?
Yep.
Okay. And I've talked with John already on this thing. John's going to work with this. I think I'm going to recommend the council. SEH is going to be the primary player as far as the engineering group with partnership with John as our go-between. But SEH is going to be the primary specialist on that new water plant. I hope the council will agree with that. And John is going to be working talking with you for us, you know what I'm saying? So, like he did with the wastewater plant with Stantec and John, okay? Anybody understand that? Hopefully, whenever that comes down, that's not on the table right now, but hopefully that's how it materializes, okay? Kevin?
Yeah.
Did I lose you on that?
No, I'm here.
I mean, are you understanding what I'm talking about?
I think so.
Yeah. Let's get by the $7,000 worth of work first, okay? Also, okay, want to make a motion?
I'll move to approve SEH on that hourly up to $7,000 to begin this study.
Motion by Councilor Heisman to approve SEH to continue with these items on the scope of work from 1 to for on an hourly basis, not to exceed $7,000 and come back with a report, I think March 9th, was it? March 9th?
Yeah.
So we'll have our work completed February 18th for the water committee meeting. And then we would come back with the additional contract and direction.
Yeah, March 9th. So, do I have a second on that motion?
I'll second.
Second by Counselor Skinsich. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. All right, Kevin?
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you and good luck. Thank you for your work.
Yeah, we'll be in touch, Sam.
All right. When I promise something, I take care of my promises. Even though it's kind of gray. Right? All right, continue on. John, you got everything else? You gotta remember, we gotta start getting easements hearings if we need to. You're gonna have to tell us if we need to on Nebraska Avenue, Florida, New Jersey, and French. Okay? I like that if we need to. I don't know. That's gonna, you determine that.
Yeah.
Okay?
Assessment hearing on
Assessment, right.
those
Assessment.
other street projects,
Yeah,
yeah.
not
yeah,
easement, assessment meetings.
Yeah, yeah.
So we get them all before, ready to go if need to be.
Yeah,
All right.
we can I'll bring something back. There's a process, public hearing, end of February, middle of March sometime. That would be,
It's not really well known if we need to yet, but that's your determination.
Yeah.
And then let us know when you need to have them done so we can get them done and be ready to go in May, okay, if need to be. We're gonna do, the projects are gonna go.
Yeah.
We just need to know who's gonna foot the bill.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
Anything else for John by the council? Police Chief Ty Teacher. Is he around? Ty? Ty? No Ty? Okay, Public Works Director Sam Lotiger.
I don't have much of a report other than we can go with the well 3 one right now. The only thing I gotta say is I know this has been having some issues for quite some time. And last year last fall we did well 4. We rehabbed that and it turned out pretty good. Well 3 is in a little bit worse shape. It's a little bit older of a well than well 4 was. It's time. We had Thielen Company do well 4 last year, and it turned out great. So that's why I brought forward this quote. I think it's a good price. They're going to do the same thing they did to well 4, clean it, video it for us. So I would like for, and it's something we're going to need for the next 4 to 5 years, or, you know, we need it. So what I'm looking for is an approval to hire Thielen to come clean well 3 for $20,380.
Yeah, I don't know where I misplaced that piece of paper. Yeah, we talked about it last year. We only did 1 at a time. We did number 4. We need to do number 3 now. SDH had it on their schedule as well. And you said it was more of a bigger priority to do it right away, so that's what we're gonna do right now. And hopefully council okays it. It's, how long was the last time it was worked on? Sam, do you know?
I don't even know. I don't know if there's any records on it that we know of. I believe it was put in roughly like 81 from what I remember when talking to the well people. So I don't know. We don't know where, haven't seen any maintenance logs over the years or anything that I know of. Like I say, the pumping records, I think it's down about 40%, if not a little bit more, if not 50% capacity. So I believe this is supposed to pump right around 300 gallons a minute, and we're at about 180 to 150. So we're quite a bit lower. So.
You know, I'm kind of baffled when I hear these types of things. 1981, there's no way in the heck 40 years this pump has been running for 40 years, trouble free, and now we got trouble. I can't understand the part about not finding these records. It's unbelievable, and this is not the only piece of paper that we can't find. There's other things not there. I mean, it's unbelievable. John?
Yeah, just the only comment, when the city put the new wells in 2001, 2002, wells 3 and 4, they've been primarily the well supply for the city. Well, 3's kind of always been a backup. It hasn't been tried and used that often, but now when we were having issues with well 4, we were trying to get well 3 back more online. So there hasn't been, pushed that hard over the last 20 years, but it's nice to have the 3rd backup. So that's really what's going on here. So
It's more of a backup, but now it's had been used. It's been used. It's just
yeah,
hasn't been
it's
sitting
been
idle.
used, but not as
But
part of the routine, regular routine.
this staff has been working through the vaults on different things, looking up research on different things and not able to find things. It's unbelievable how things are just not there. And that's unacceptable. Anyway, that's another issue. So I recommend the council go ahead, and Thea Wells have been a reputable outfit for done a lot of work in Gilbert, and I have no problem with that contractor.
I'll make a motion for CNWell rehabilitation and reinstallation of existing pump well number 3 for $20,380.
I'll support.
Moved by Councillor Skansich, supported by Councillor Heitzman to approve the authorization to the Public Works Director to have Thea Well do well number 3, water well number 3 rehabilitation at an estimated cost of $20,380. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries.
Other than that, as far as a report, we've been just doing some snow removal here and there. I know we've been doing a lot of work over at City Hall with different items over there. So on a remodel, and got the ice going down at the arena. Been keeping busy with a lot of little items that we didn't get to last fall or over the summer. So other than that, they don't have anything other than item C under old business about the grounding straps.
Yeah. Were you on a working session when we talked about that?
No, I did not. I was not on there in the beginning. There was some issues with the Zoom.
Okay, we'll get that when we get that, but it's gonna be us. We're gonna do it and we're gonna take care of it, okay? So,
Yeah, I believe I would be with you on that, Mr. Mayor.
only thing
I think
I
it is
have, I was gonna ask you, the campground, did we shingled that office building, right?
The office building, yes.
But
That
not,
was-
the-
that was
not the,
shingled.
not the shed next to it though, right?
No,
We can do
No.
that, right? We can do that if we need to, right?
I would think so. We can, yeah,
But also the report was the restroom.
yes, yes.
So is that something you and John can work on? With this?
Yes. Yep, we can come up with, getting, a price. John could put out, get prices from contractors, or I can get prices from contractors. I can work with John on it.
Does that work on your other areas you were talking about developing?
That's all part of the overall
Yeah.
things that we want to prioritize
Right,
down there,
right.
so yeah.
Okay, so before the rain starts coming, we should.
Yeah. You know, the city had that plan done, that comprehensive plan of the, you know, that's supposed to be document that's gonna help the city be eligible for more state and federal funding for some of these bigger cost type projects down there that were identified in that plan,
Well,
so,
let's get this thing up and running before the season starts down there, okay?
yeah.
Get the council, somebody to find the money for it too,
Okay.
okay? Is, nothing else for Sam? We're not gonna get that light by Anthem, right? Till April?
Probably, Mr. Mayor, I have not even attempted to look at that thing yet. I've just been too busy with dealing with the sewer plant and just other items that come up on a day-to-day basis.
Okay. All right, anything else for Sam? Until we get back down to, let's do the meter grounding strap. I think we talked about it, and I think we're all okay that we authorize, I can't remember the name of the contractor that's gonna do the water meters. Go ahead if.
Vanguard is the contractor. Vanguard,
Vanguard.
yes.
If one's missing, put one in. If it's deteriorated, put a new one in. And city will have to pay for it, right? So if somebody want to make a motion on that?
I'll move. I'll support.
Moved by Counselor Heisman, supported by Counselor Skinsich, to approve the authorization of Vanguard to, when needed and necessary, to replace the grounding strap or input the grounding strap, one or the other, at the cost by the city. Any more discussion?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, do you gotta do a $20 fee? That's what they proposed. I don't know if you gotta say that or not.
At a $20 fee to be paid to Vanguard from the city. Okay? Right? Your motion, $20 fee, that's what they want, so you're gonna pay the $20 fee, the city's gonna pay, okay, Sam? Got that?
Yes,
Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries 3-0. While you're here, we're gonna take up that, just discussion quickly to the council, the CDBG Community Center grant on our, community center dining room area, the main floor. We put in for CDBG grant for the restrooms down there. They're, I don't know, 67, 70 years old down there, and they're no handicap accessibility for them people. If it's hard to rent out the community center down there, if somebody needed to go, a handicapped person with a wheelchair would have to go outside all the way around the top to get to the handicap bathrooms upstairs. There's no way in heck we can have that rented out for public down there. So it's kind of like useless to the city. And it's been going on for how long now? We did the upstairs, we never did nobody's done the downstairs. So we put in for it this year, asked for $150,000, and we got $36,000. I think they wanted to piecemeal this thing. This $36,000 is gonna okay a handicap door to be put downstairs for entry into the dining room area. And then we'll put back in, because we have to finish this project, and we'll put in the rest of the money for the bathrooms next cycle, next year. Right, John?
Conversation with CDBG staff. I mean, it was a good project. They just made some decisions on, they only had so much money to spend. They figured, let's get phase one down, the doors improved and widened in the operator, and then, you know, be eligible to come back next year for the rest of the 88 bathroom work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, Mr. Mayor, I got a comment on it too. I believe, you know, that's what John, we put in for is the door going into the Legion room. That one hasn't, that entry door hasn't been fixed. That's going to be handicap accessible. We put a new door and stoop into the downtown or the kitchen area there before, but that is going to get handicap accessible operators. So then that's part of that 35,000. So both of them will have handicap operators. The Legion room will actually have a stoop, like is put in the in front of the door to the dining room. So and
we need a motion to okay and to move forward with the doors and openers, and we're accepting the $36,000, and we're committed to finish this next year then by accepting the money and going forward. We will continue, we're committed to cannot drop this process at all. We've got to pick it back up next year and finish the remainder with reapplying for the rest of it with John's discussion with CDBG, right, John? Yeah. So.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Councillor Skinsich, supported by
I'll support.
Councillor Heitzman to move forward with the door and openers with money awarded by CDBG Community Center block grant of the handicap restrooms in the community center, lower level. Any more discussion? And proceed next year with applying again for the remainder of the bathroom costs. Jim, you have something? Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
All right.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries 3-0. Okay. Okay, Sam, that'd be it then, right? Okay, now I see Ty teacher. Ty.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. The only couple, sorry I was gone. I failed to put a car opening tool back from the primary squad car. I put it in mine, never put it back. And we had 2 kids stuck in a car. So anyways, that's why I was gone. The only thing I have is obviously with the calendar parking, we're now at the road just trying to get a little bit narrower, specifically Wisconsin Avenue. We've been going fairly hot and heavy with the parking. We've issued about 272 tickets for parking this year. So we've written more tickets this year than we have in years past. So we just ask that people start to follow the parking rules, as it makes our plows and snow removal much easier. That's all I have.
And for 270 tickets, have you gotten 22,000 or $20,000 worth of money then, or no?
No. So that would be about $2,500. We have about a 50% compliance rate on the parking tickets. What we usually do, state statute allows us after 6 citations, if they're unpaid, and we tend to have a dozen of those vehicles. It tends to be habitual offenders. I'm looking at my screen right now, and we've got probably about 9 cars that have in excess of 7 parking tickets. So after 2 weeks has expired from the last citation, at that point, we have the ability to tow the vehicle and impound it until we collect the ticket money and they pay the impound fees before the vehicle is released. So that's kind of how we're dealing with it. We are looking at a collections agency to try to recoup. The one issue with trying to recoup it is they're $12 tickets, and a lot of collection agencies are not overly interested in trying to collect on $12 tickets. It still costs us $20 to collect on the $12 ticket, even though that's passed along to the individual that received the citation. So that'll be something I'll be bringing forward to the council to contract with a collections agency here this spring for any unpaid parking tickets that had less than 6 tickets that were unpaid. So.
Okay. And you got up to all the officers now, right?
We still have one officer on administrative leave. Our new officer started last Thursday. Talking to our field training officer, Gilbert, he says he's coming along very well. So we're very positive with this hire. So.
Okay, sounds good. Anything else?
I have nothing unless the mayor or council has something of me.
Anything else for the council? Okay, thanks, Ty. Thanks, everybody, for your fine work. Library Director, Sue here?
Sue is absent with notice.
All right. And Executive Administrator Jim Paulson.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of things before we get to the rate study item. Just to make council aware, first week of May is when the audit is slated to start. We don't know exactly how that's going to lay out with depending on how COVID is at the time, but we made it work last year. We'll make it work again. So that's first week of May. Also, just a follow-up from the last meeting, the delayed assessment for the Sparta Sewer Project. We've done our due diligence research on that. We'll have a resolution in the council's hand for the next meeting to set a date for the public hearing for that delayed assessment, and we've identified 5 parcels that are affected. Also, so the council is aware, later in the agenda, one of the resolutions deals with creating the campground board. It is currently a campground committee. Either way, we'll be having a meeting on February 2nd here at City Hall at 6 p.m. Like I said, either a campground committee or the campground board, depending on how that resolution goes. But February 2nd, 6 p.m. And we hope to have interviews for the campground manager position in mid-February with a name to the council for recommendation on our last meeting in February. So we have a very busy February coming up, but it'll set us up nicely. So last item then, before I just go to agenda items, is the rate study request.
All right, speak about the rate study.
It's been many years since a rate study was conducted for the city of Gilbert. I'd like to request that the council direct JPJ Engineering to conduct a rate study for Gilbert encompassing water, sewer, electric, and sanitation rates. I know we're doing water meters and electric meters here this spring, so we'd ask that this study be completed by the time we roll forward and get those meters complete. I think it'd be well worth the city's investment to conduct that study.
Bob, that's it.
That's a little premature. You're going to get the meters in July probably. So you got a half a year to know if you've been getting full payment for what the usage is. So how can you do a rate study without knowing those figures first? Like Bob said, we could be 60% shy of what we're supposed to be getting from the customers. So how can you do a rate study not knowing those facts? And a rate study, like I said, if Jamnik charges anything, he's charging too much. They're so simple to do. You just go by the audit. If you're shy of money, you add an additional charge to each customer to make up that money. I don't understand this rate study at all. When we did the rate, considered a rate study for the sewer plant, the 1950, that was just a simple process. And all the rates, all these others are the same process. You just find how many customers you got, what the costs are, divided by that, and that's your rate you charge. It's just, I don't get this rate study. I'm really baffled.
Thank you. Yeah.
The rate study request was brought up to the Water and Right Board, and that time we chose to not act on it because we felt it was premature, because and I'm not, I don't want to point fingers to anybody or any reason other than I agree with Bob that if you're going to do a rate study, to do it right and to get the right numbers out, you got to do more than just look at the numbers, what you're charging now. You got to look at what the whole operation is. And that involves knowing something about what is it going to project us with the new water, what do you call it, the assessment like we did for the sewer. That's going to have to play a part. I would hate to see just a partial rate study and then have to double back on it. It's one thing to raise the rates or change the rates, but if you're going to do it, you got to have a real in-depth study. The last one we had, and I can speak on this, it was 1980 or 81, done by R.W. Beck rate study. They did the water, the sewer, the electric, the whole complete package. And that's a cost factor. I would prefer to get a quote from somebody so we know what you're dealing with. Get 2 or 3 opinions. I've got the book. I'll be more than happy to share with it. The last one we did back in 1980. I still got that book, and you'll see it's about this thick. And to do it complete, to do a full, complete rate study so that you're in the right ballpark, you need all that information. And I'm sorry, John's done good work for many years. I don't want to go there because I don't have any problems with that. But if you're going to do a rate study, you should do a complete rate study, not just say what you're looking, are we at the right rates today? Or should we raise it 50 cents or $1 or whatever? If you're going to do a rate study, do the whole package. That's all I'm saying.
And that's what we're gonna do, right, Jim? We're gonna do all 3, and we're gonna do it. It's been 40 years since the last one, and I think it's time, and I got a recommendation from him, and we're gonna do, I think that I'm gonna recommend the council to do it.
Why don't we do it in-house? You've got 4 people in the office, all help. I did this rate study. It took me a half an hour to figure the 1950 Why are you spending money that's not needed on something like this?
I have no trouble telling you and anybody here in the council that those people already have a lot of work to do already.
Oh, really?
Yes, they do.
You could do a rate study in 3 hours.
Well,
not 3 months from now.
And we don't even know. That's what probably he might be done in a day or so. We don't know. We're assuming too much.
Well, how can you do a rate study until you get the numbers, concrete numbers down? The only concrete number you may have is for the high tower. Do you know what the high tower loan is going to be, payback on that? How much did we get? How much do we owe? You could start paying on that because you know those numbers, but you don't know how much water.
The rate study is not going to be. The rate study is going to be about usage.
There's no we have no problem with waiting, a year to do the rate study.
What's that?
We have no problem waiting till the meters are into the rate study. I did see that in their recommendations after I'd put this together. So if we delay till after we get the water meters in, that's fine. But I do believe we need a qualified rate study done.
What do you consider qualified? I looked at Leo's rate study, and you know what they recommended back then? electric rate in half. You wouldn't have collected that $2 million over these 30 years if you had cut that electric rate in half. Every town is different. You can't go by what they tell you. We're all in unique situations.
Well,
We use that electric fund to pay for almost everything in this town. And if you're gonna go by a rate study and they'll say, oh, you're charging too much, there goes your fund.
I
All
would,
situations are different. You do not go by what somebody else tells you.
I want to recommend to the council then if what Jim is telling me here, that he can wait till the water meters are in, or electric meters, and probably 60 days after that, you'll get a better understanding about,
How
The
can you do it in
usage-
60 days? You fluctuate from your summer use to your winter use. That's not a good example.
we already
You
know.
use
we're-
more water in the summer than you do in the winter. You're gonna have to go at least a half a year to get a good count on what's
we know
going on.
already we lost, I mean, 2019, $47,000 in the water fund. Last year, we were cut that in half to 20-something. So we're already $20,000 behind. I don't know if we made up any ground or not on
I
that.
thought we were ahead according to the numbers I got from Taryn.
I have no.
On the water, we were 26 to the good. In the sewer, we were 24 to the good. And 126 on the electric, 1,000. And minus 31 on the commercial garbage. That's what you have to look at. You can fix that by just charging more base fees for the garbage. That's what you go by. A rate study is useless.
We're gonna do a rate.
To say.
Well, thank you. Thank you. We're gonna do a rate study. Leo, that's enough.
Real short, Carl. The only thing that really bothers me is right now we've got 100, I believe it's 172 customers that are on a flat fee with the water. Until you get those people online, I think it's useless to try and figure out what your rate should be. That's a big factor. If you got roughly over 20% of the people that are on a flat fee, you have no concept what the income or what the costs are. That really bothers me, until we get the water meters and the electric meters in place. I would recommend 6 months down the road, then do a complete rate study and upgrade it, downgrade it, whatever you have to. I think it's premature for a rate study right now. Thank you.
Okay, so Jim, you say we can wait?
Yeah, I think waiting till the water meters and electric meters are installed is a good idea.
I really do.
Council okay with that?
Do we need to make a motion to table this for?
No, we just won't do nothing. You want to bring it up again on another date, you can make a motion to bring it up, bring it up at another date, but we don't even know what that date is yet, so just leave it alone.
Mayor, at this point, you can just treat it as informational and put it off to another meeting.
Yeah, it's informational, take no action, that's all. Okay? But I do believe at 40 years already, it's time for a rate study when we do it sometime this year, and after the meters, that the meters for 170 homes has not been running for, I've been hearing 10 years. Wow, unreal. Anyway, but the rate study is gonna be needed once we get all that information and everything running correctly here. One thing I need Sam and the Water and Light Board to do, to work on, this substation, we're gonna pass that cost tonight for that. So that old substation is not gonna sit, we want it there for 6 months. I think everything is running correctly and properly. And now it's come April, May, it's time for that thing to go bye-bye. So we need to work on this $707,000. There was no removing of that involved in that money and that cost. So we need to talk with Minnesota Power to get that removed off the premises. So we can, hopefully this council can add on to that garage over there. We need some more space because this food shelf is gonna go down building right here, and we're taking up some storage area downstairs, which we're gonna be minus that. So that area where the old substation is was no more required for that. We might be, also might take action to add on to that. So we need to have, we're not gonna look at that for 20 years. So that needs to be worked on to get removed, all right? So that's a task the Water and Lake Board can bring to us and work on, all right? And Sam with them, or Minnesota Power, there's PCBs and all that other good stuff, so.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes,
on that note, I've worked with a couple contractors here to get some of the PCB testing to make sure there's not PCBs in those transformers. I could work on a cost to see if somebody would buy them for us or whatnot, but I know for the building and whatnot, I think maybe we could have John work on that and the grounds layout or the grounds area, possibly applying for like a demo grant from IRRB for that. It is the Gilbert substation. It's no longer Minnesota Power's issue. It's disconnected. Everything's, there's no power at that place. So that's where I would say is maybe we can get John to help us on a grant from IRRB to demo that if that's the way I would go forward with it.
oh. Let's, I'm okay with that, so you don't need the Water and Light Board acting on that?
No, I don't, unless they want to give me some input and ideas. I know one thing is I've thought about is, like I say, I work with John. There's a lot of scrap metal people out there. Maybe the first phase would just hire a scrap metal guy to take all the metal and all the electrical and everything, and the second phase would take the building down. So, but I think we could work with John and come up with a couple scenarios on that, and figure out how to best go about taking that building down.
Council okay with that?
Yeah. Yep.
Council's okay with that, okay? And the Water and Light Board, if they got any input or ideas, forward them over to Sam. John, you're okay with that? Council's okay? And if there's some money involved, you come back with authorization then, all right?
Yes, definitely.
All right.
Yeah, we'll come back with anything that we got to do,
Yeah. All right, we have the Evelyn. Anything else, Jim? No, anything else by council for our administrator clerk? Evelyn Fail Gilbert School District Joint Powers Rec Board meeting minutes of January 13, 2020 needs to be approved.
Move to approve.
I'll support.
Moved by Counselor Skinsich, supported by Counselor Heitzman to approve these minutes of January 13th. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Old business wastewater treatment plant update. Anybody? How is the punch list? Anybody want?
I guess I can give a little update, Mr. Mayor. We've been working, me and Tara have been on a phone conversation roughly every week with Justin Fashing from Scantech and going over different items. There's still punch stuff added to the punch list. There's stuff getting worked on weekly down there by the contractor, warranty items and whatnot. And they're supposed to have the change order list I believe they're supposed to have some prices here in the next couple weeks for us to go over. And then we will talk with Jim over them, and maybe there might be some change orders coming for some safety items to the council. Scantech is aware of some costs that they have to have on that change order list. So we're just kind of meeting, like I say, once a week and going over different items, and they've been we've been plugging along. So
That sounds good. Anybody?
I've got something.
Yep, Counselor Skinsich.
Sam, are they finally done with the actual construction phase now? Are we just moving to warranty and change order kind of things, or what's going on?
yeah. There was like 2 items left, I think, on that the construction list that weren't really done. One thing was the downspouts, and I believe the asterisks that are in between the doors that they got to put on, and those are on order. But other than that, everything else was been put on the warranty list as we're going forward. So.
All right, thanks, Sam.
Yep.
Sounds good.
All right, so are we all done with the update there? The chemical spill or the dumping, we're all okay with that now, Sam?
Well, we're never okay with that because we don't want it. But yes, everything, we didn't have any issues other than, OSI being down there for a week, sucking out some of the oil that was left. I believe Tara mentioned they figured there's about 15 to 30 gallons of oil. I know they ended up hauling, and they charged us for 550 gallons in totes, and then a couple of 50 or 155 gallon drum of they throw out kind of it's almost like a buoy to soak up the oil. There's 55 gallons of that is what they're going to charge us for. So that's what they couldn't, the 555 gallons, I think that's 2 totes that they have to go get the oil, whether they burn it or whatever they do with it. But that's what we couldn't decant off the oil. So
And no idea where it came from, right?
No idea. We have our suspect areas, I gotta call them, because it's too diluted by the time we get it at the plant that day anyways. So the only thing we can do is wait for the next one, and we're more ready. We've always are learning something new when we get a dump. This time we learned there's more people to help. We can call different numbers to have somebody come up. So it's hopefully we'll end up catching them sometime. And there's fines, there's costs that can be put on the people, civil costs, costs for overtime, costs for OSI's costs. That could be all passed on. So
Have you got a cost for us to consider on that meter that you
No.
would like to have?
Not yet. I know I talked to Tara about looking into a couple places, and I have not. I didn't get a chance to talk to her too much about that last couple of days. So.
Well, get on that when you can, because I think the council is interested in getting that for you.
Yep.
So you don't have to borrow it from somebody else.
Right.
Right. Okay.
And you don't have to stick your head in a manhole and sniff.
Yeah, you're right. All right. Are we done with wastewater treatment plant update? Now, Minnesota Highway 37 update, anything there?
The only thing I got, I talked to Doug last week on another, on an issue here between Virginia and New York. There was some trees planted there before. We put the sewer line in the boulevard. I told them not to go through with the putting the trees back. And I just mentioned that we should be getting a meeting together sometime late February, early March, just to see his timelines and where they're going to start, and get everybody on a
I agree. We need a meeting because we have a lot of things to discuss. We need a walkthrough of checking the work that was done last year because it was so late when they got done. We didn't get to take a look at the work that was done to see what needs to be redone, if anything, so that needs to be done before they start. And also, we need a plan for the post office because there's no way there's going to be a parking lane there. And when they tear up the place, there's going to be torn up. So all summer long, that post office is going to be almost not available unless there's another plan. Because you're not going to stop traffic, or there's no parking lane for that traffic when they're working on the other side. And when they move to this side, they're going to be blocked off with no way to get there. So we got to work on the post office. How are we going to accommodate this post office? And then your two lights up by the Holiday and up by our new business up there, those two lights that we okayed last June for $12,000. I'd like to have Doug.
Yep.
He's going to take those lights on 35, put the other two on this year, right?
Yes.
And maybe he can do all four of them. How's that?
We could talk to Doug about that if we want.
Yeah. So, because you had trouble with some red tape over there, didn't you, at the Holiday area?
Well, by the Holiday, there was some, it was in the right of way and it was close to the right of way. So that was one of the issues that held up everything. Because the power pole's in the right of way, there's some issues. And if we want the power or the light pole all the way back as close as we can to the Holiday parking lot, it doesn't really shine into that intersection like we want it. So that's where my dilemma was. So maybe we can get Doug to work on that one for us.
Yes, well, you could work on the other one though, can't you?
Yes. Yep. Yeah, that other one is already a go. No problem. It's on our street. We don't have any issues there. It was the Holiday one, and it was quoted as one. That's why it took as long as it did.
So Doug's got two up already. We give him three more to work on, all right?
Yep.
The remaining two, and then that one by the Holiday, all right?
Yep.
So let's get a meeting with Doug on these issues, the post office and these issues, and then we'll do the walkthrough when the snow goes. As soon as that is available, to look at the work that was done, and so that we get that area done down there. All right. All right, that's done. Meters, we're on to new business. New business, resolution 2021-02. Council, I asked last time for establishment of the Gilbert Campground Board, no more committee, a board. And I need a vote for, then I'll read the resolution. We're going to establish a campground board, and it's going to consist of 5 members. And we have 3 right now in there. We have 1 resignation, so we have 3. And the resignation we'll take up later. And we have a structure here on how they fill their terms. We have a term schedule here. So I would ask the council approve this resolution 2021-02, establishing campground board.
I'll make that motion to approve the establishment of the campground board.
Motion by Counselor Heitzman. Do I hear a second?
I'll support.
Support by Counselor Skinsich to approve Resolution 2021-02 establishing campground board. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Now I read the resolution. City of Gilbert, Resolution 2021-02, resolution establishing a campground board. State of Minnesota, County of St. Louis, City of Gilbert, whereas the City Council of the City of Gilbert, St. Louis County, Minnesota, State of Minnesota hereby adopts the following resolution. Now, therefore, to be it resolved, the Campground Board of City of Gilbert pursuant to Section 2.02 of the Gilbert City Charter shall consist of 5 members and shall be established. The board shall be composed of 5 members who shall serve staggered 3-year terms, beginning with the following terms. A, 1 board member, 1-year term. B, 2 board members, 2-year terms. C, 2 board members, 3-year terms. 2 board members may serve multiple terms upon approval of the City Council. It is further resolved, the board shall advise the council in all matters relating to the campground, adopted by the City Council January 26, 2021. Voting in favor, Councilor Heitzman, Councilor Skinsich, Mayor Oberstar. 3-0. No nays. I took that vote already, didn't I? Yeah. All right. So we're established a campground board now. Yes.
Yeah, you mentioned that you have 3 volunteer members to serve on this board already lined up. Is there a way to
They're
assign them on the years?
yeah, that probably clerk will do that. Right, Jim? By lot,
Yes.
by lot.
Yeah.
Not just pick by lot.
I'm just curious.
Put their names in a hat and then whatever we come out. So,
Yeah, and we'll have that, we'll have their organization meeting on
yeah.
February 3rd also, 2nd also,
Members
yeah.
right now are Steve Buria, Jeff Thiel, and Paul Skirbick.
Correct.
Terry Craven is resigning. Okay. I need to find 2 people after tonight. Thank you for establishing the campground board. Okay, resolution 2021-03. City has received the following anonymous donation of $100 for the sole purpose of advertising at high school sporting events. Midwest taxpayer money cannot be spent on advertising for school functions and sporting events. So anonymous donation has come through to pay for that $100 advertisement for the City of Gilbert into those sporting events, and will be at these sporting events. The City of Gilbert will be acknowledged. So it'll be no cost to the City of Gilbert, and we're acknowledging this $100 donation from this anonymous donor. And again, I need to make the motion first. I have a motion and accept this $100.
I'll make a motion to accept this $100.
Do I hear a second?
I'll support.
Moved by Councilor Heitzman, supported by Councilor Skinsich to approve the anonymous donation of $100 specifically to be used for these types of sporting event advertisements naming the City of Gilbert. High school sporting events naming the City of Gilbert. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries 3-0. City of Gilbert, Resolution 2021-03, resolution accepting donations. Whereas the City of Gilbert is generally authorized to accept donations of real and personal property pursuant to Minnesota statute section 465.03 for the benefit of its citizens, and whereas the following person and entity have offered to contribute the cash amount set forth below to the city, name of donor anonymous, for amount of $100. Whereas the city council finds that it is appropriate to accept the donations offered, now therefore to be resolved by the city council of Gilbert, Minnesota as follows. 1, the donation described above is accepted for the city of Gilbert, and the city of clerk is hereby directed to issue a receipt to the donor acknowledging the city's receipt of the donor's contribution, adopted by the city council of the city of Gilbert on January 26, 2021. Done. Read and passed. Thank you. Thank you to the anonymous donor too for your donation. Cemetery fee schedule. We passed the fee schedule last week, last council meeting. And we didn't adopt a start date. And I think Jim, you had, go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, the last time the city increased updated a fee schedule, we had given 90-day notice past the end of the month that the fee schedule became effective. So following that same calendar, we would be looking at a May 1st effective date for the new cemetery fee schedule. I do see that one of the members of the cemetery board is in attendance. I didn't know if he wanted to speak to this or if he had a different date in mind when this was discussed. Okay, so May 1st would be fine. So May 1st would be the recommendation.
I'll make a motion to set May 1st as the start date for the new fee schedule.
I'll second.
Moved by Councilor Heitzman, supported by Councilor Skinsich to approve May 1st as a start date for the new cemetery fee schedule, which was adopted at a previous meeting upon recommendation of the Gilbert Cemetery Board.
And Mayor,
May
just
1st, 2021.
Thank you.
Yeah. May 1st, 2021. Yeah. Gotta be, right? Yeah. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Now we have the Minnesota Power Substation invoice for the work that was done here this last summer on our new substation. And the last one was done in 1986. I was here then, I was here now. And the bill is come in $707,152.84 to be taken out of the electric fund. Cash. We want to move on that?
I'll make a motion.
Moved by Councilor Skinsich, supported by
I'll support.
Councilor Heitzman to approve this authorization of expenditures payment to Minnesota Power of $707,152.84 for the completion of the Gilbert substation and 3 feeder units. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Minnesota Power, for the great work. You've been trouble-free. And we can rest, sleep well for another 20-some years, 25 years. Okay, Board and Commission, I have appointments of a regular routine, yearly appointments here. And I'm looking for I'm out of place here. There you are. Cemetery Board, I wish to appoint, I'm gonna have to do this one at a time, all right? Reappoint Donna Sauter and Keith Shatava. Donna Sauter goes to 2024 and Keith Shatava to 2023. That's my appointment.
Need motion?
Yep.
I'll make a motion for it.
There's a motion by Counselor Skansich, supported by Counselor Heitzman to approve the mayor's appointment to the reappointment to the cemetery board of Donna Sauter ending 2024 and Keith Shatava ending 2023, January 31st of each month, year there. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. I wish to reappoint on the Planning and Zoning Commission, Lonnie Bronson, ending 1/31/2023, and Scott Denny, ending 1/31/2024.
I'll make a motion for it.
I'll support.
Moved by Counselor Skansich, supported by Counselor Heisman to approve mayor's appointment of Lonnie Bronson and Scott Denny to the Planning and Zoning Commission. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries 3-0. And on the Police Commission, I wish to reappoint Mary Jo Primazich, ending 1/31/2024, and Dr. John Supancic, ending, when was his term be ending? Same time, 2024?
Same time's 3-year term, Mayor.
1/31/2024.
I'll make a motion.
I'll support.
Moved by Counselor Skansich, supported by Counselor Heitzman to approve the mayor's appointment of Mary Jo Primazich and Dr. John Supancic to the Police Commission. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. And then we need to accept the resignation of the campground board member Terry Craven, effective January 14th. And thank Terry Craven for his service on the campground board.
Make the motion.
I'll support.
Motion by Counselor Heitzman, supported by Counselor Skansich to approve the resignation of Terry Craven and thank him for his service from the campground effective January 14th, 2021. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. We have a community city request for Girl Scouts to use the bottom dining room area for their Girl Scout cookie campaign, waiving the $80 fee. And Jim tells me that they have their COVID plan and action intact. So everything's, all the proper paperwork are okay and okay to go. And waiving we're approving the use of the community center and waiving the $80 fee here.
They're just using the,
Huh?
just using the basement then? Is that all this is? Right. Okay. Yeah. I'll make a motion to waive the fee.
I'll support.
Motion by Counselor Skansich, supported by Counselor Heitzman to, okay, the use of the basement area, lower level of the community center and waive the $80 fee for that usage during their Girl Scout cookie campaign. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Oh, I jumped on now. Thank you. Minnesota League of Minnesota Cities Insurance. We need to approve our insurance. League of Cities. What the, I just give me that thing. It's out of order. All right, yeah, I know, $128,062. for a period of 1/1/21 and to 1/1/2022. Needs to be done. Jim, can you tell us, is this same as last year or reduction or?
It's a $169 increase over last year.
Okay. $169 increase.
I'll make the motion, pay it.
I support.
Moved by Counselor Skinsich, supported by Counselor Heitzman to approve the agreement period and cost of $128,062 for our city property casualty insurance provided by the League of Minnesota Cities Trust Fund. And I guess the agency that does that is our Aspire in Gilbert here.
That is correct.
As their insurance agent they work through. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Any miscellaneous? Miscellaneous, all right. Approve the payment of bills and payroll upon proper audit by the clerk and the mayor.
I'll move.
Moved by Counselor Skinsich, supported by Counselor Heitzman to approve the bills and payroll upon the proper audit by the clerk and the mayor. And we have a total of $237,577.45 for this period, 2-week period. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries 3-0. No other business. Move to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
I'll support.
Motion by Counselor Heitzman, supported by Counselor Skinsich to adjourn at 7:58. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 3-0, 7:58. We are adjourned. Thank you for all for coming. That wasn't that bad. Huh? 6:15.